Hello and welcome everyone, this is Rowan from Player Gaming, and today, we're back in Simpleplanes. We're going to be doing the weapons for our plane here. You might also notice, there's no frequencies, no extra static. Found out how to fix it in OBS. But that doesn't really matter. Right now, all that matters is getting this plane built. Or finished, should I say. Last time we did... Let me go back to the Bandit Airport. Last time we built this plane, and we added the wings to it. I think we did pretty well yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but last time we worked on this. We got some very powerful engines in the back. But the only problem is I think those engines are a little too strong. I reach some decent speeds, like I'm at Mach 2, which is kind of decent for the kind of fighter we're going for here. But the maneuverability is not. Since you don't have to worry about servos clocking out at really high speeds and not being able to produce enough power, it doesn't work all the best. So we're going to turn down the power on those so we don't have to worry about that. And then we can get to the whole reason this video exists, adding weapons. Because what's a fighter without weapons? I got the engines fixed, or should I say engine. I took out one of them and put it here. Then if you see in the XML modding, I switched the size and the color and the power of the engine. So now it is 1/4 of the power, which is a total 1/8 of the power it was before. Let's have that on only. And I also made it an afterburner. I don't know how to get rid of this orange stuff, but I did manage to make it at least look a bit like an afterburner. I think I got the color, but the orange stuff's kind of ruining it. Apart from that, it's not as maneuverable as it was before. Just what I wanted, but it's still slightly more maneuverable. And I make the bridge. Yep. Yeah, it's still really maneuverable in this mode, just not as crazy as it was before. And I guess that's our cue to finally get started on what this video is all about, the weapons. So this plane is definitely going to be a multi-role, as the series says. Meaning we're probably going to need to move these wheels so we have more wing loading. But first, I want to actually put in a bomb bay. Now to do this, I'm going to just take this piece here, make it more flat, so we have space to fit the bombs. And I don't think we're going to be able to put pylons here. Let me check. No, pylons are for wings only, meaning we're going to need to put on a structural panel, because those kinda count as wings-ish. Once I figure out how to operate it. That should work. And if we just move it over. This'll take me a minute. I got this filled in with some of my homemade carpet bomb things, which I have in sub-assemblies. You can see the carpet bomb bombs. They're small. I turn down their scale, I turn down their weight, and most of all, I turn down their firing delay, which allows me to fully carpet bomb like this. Let's just get up into the air. Earlier, I hadn't actually changed the weight, so it was very difficult. Let's take off with max afterburner. Slow down the afterburner. And turn it off completely. So if we go for these AA tanks here, let's hope we'll be able to hit them. If I start dropping now. Any hits? Nope. I have one bomb left. That does not bode well. Is that gonna hit? Does not look like it. Okay, so I'm just crap at aiming bombs, but at least we do now have the bombs. There's 28 of them here. And now we have our good old carpet bombing system. Now we're going to need to have some air-to-air missiles. So I'm just going to put some pylons on the wingtips. Only issue is that looks kind of weird. But I don't know how to fix that. Like, that looks weird too. So maybe if I just, like, make the scale super, super tiny. Like 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. That's a tenth of the size. That, you can't even see it. So if I put a missile there, like an interceptor, I have to rotate it so it can latch onto the pylon. Does not immediately fall off. Let's see. I might have just been fooling myself because I might just be able to put an interceptor directly onto the wingtip, which I can. The main question is, can this one fire? It also looks kind of weird because the wings are angled backward. So now we have 2 weapon sets, which is pretty handy. Let's see, are there any air targets flying about? Oh, there's one over here. Let's afterburner our way over to them. Getting the lock on. One, two. Okay, yeah. So I don't need pylons. Let's at least see if we... Yeah, we destroyed the twin prop. So we don't need to worry about pylons at all. We just take this one off. Then we're going to want to have... We're going to have an assortment of missiles. So the ones on the wingtips are going to be Guardians because they're smaller and look a bit better on the wingtips. Then on the bottoms of the wings, we're going to have to move these wing landing gears. We're going to have to switch it out for something else. So maybe if we put some rear landing gear, that will fit. So if we take the back one here, go backwards, make it smooth. Now it's more of a flat surface, so we can fit these on better. But those might not be far enough away from each other, so it might just fall over. No falling over. Okay, so we're fine in that department. Now we just need to find some planes. Here's one. There's a drone over here. That was close. I'm gonna get a bit further away using my afterburner. Oh yeah, I forgot. With the afterburner, this plane can hit Mach 2. We're actually just sitting on Mach 2. Or we were. From a longer distance. Dang it. These Guardians are kind of annoying to use. I'm not going to worry about destroying them because that's way too difficult and we have more important things to do. Now that we have our gear set up, we can put pylons under the wings and start to create more weapon systems. First of all, I think I'm going to actually have more than one variant on the plane, which I'll fix after. Right now we're going to make the multi-role one, and then I'll make an air-to-ground one and an air-to-air one, specifically for those two. And probably an anti-ship one, too. So, for this one, since it's air-to-ground, we already have bombs. But I'm going to tuck some Infernos nice and close to the body of the plane. Right here. Take off this wing. Then I'm going to have another air-to-air weapon. I'm going to take a long pylon. Really, two of them. Put some interceptors. Then for a final weapon, I'll take a... Well, the final weapon on the wings. Because we can fit another one here. Like if I put a pylon over here, we can fit another few weapons over there. I think I'm just gonna go for a normal-sized bomb. Nah, we already have a bomb system. It might not be effective against single targets, but it'll work. Guess I'll just go with another Inferno, which I'm actually gonna tuck back here. So now, I'm going to do some XML modding on the missiles. But I'm not going to cut this out, so you can see what it does. So first of all, gonna go to the missile. And I don't have the proper thing right now. I'll be right back once I have it. Okay, I've acquired the XML modding property. So if we go into missile, hit the plus here, go to name roll V. Or, well, that is for me because I copied it. It's ignition delay. If I set this to 1.5 seconds, that will mean this missile will drop out of the pylon, fall for 1.5 seconds, and then ignite. This is really handy, especially for this missile. Otherwise, it'll just shoot off into the first missile. Now I'll take this off. I'll just take out that one and copy it. Then for this one, I'll do the same thing. And set it to the same amount of time. This means we now have 2 air-to-ground and 2 air-to-air missiles. Or sorry, 6 air-to-air missiles. Because we have the wingtip ones. So we have 4 air-to-ground. We have bombs and infernos. Carpet bombing and infernos. For air-to-air, we have interceptors and guardians. Now you can actually rename any of these. So let's do that. I'm going to call the infernos, instead of inferno, I'm going to call it a blaze missile, because that sounds cool. So we would go to here, go to missile, add a new one, call it name. That's not how you spell name. Call it a name. And this one is going to be a blaze missile. Perfect. Then we can put it back, take off one of these, and I'll name this one. This one will be our... I put in name. Long Range Anti-Air Missile. LRAAM. Perfect. Very good. Now if we set it like this, it should, in theory, when we open air to ground, yes, they are called blaze missiles, and these are called LRAAMs. So let's see against that drone that was being pesky earlier. First of all, let's see how this thing flies. See if we can take off without afterburner. I don't know if... oh, that could definitely be an issue. We can. Now, we can just lock onto the drone. And fire a missile. There, you see? It fell for a second, and then ignited, which is exactly what we want. Now let's go to air to ground and see if we can hit anything with these blaze missiles. There should be a convoy over here somewhere. Let's see if we can find that, and then fire a missile at it. Only issue is, we now roll when we pitch up. Or down. And that's because there's a weight imbalance with these missiles. There's a very simple way of fixing that. Let's take away this one. Take away this one. Take away this whole wing, actually. Take off. That's not good. Take off this, and move that. So, for our ones on the wingtips, we're going to set mass scale to 0. This means it will weigh nothing, which is exactly what we want. So there won't be any weight imbalances, because there's no real weight that's changing, because the missiles don't weigh anything. In real life, you would have to trim with your roll to do this, but there's only one trim factor in vanilla Simpleplanes, which means we can't pitch up or pitch with our roll at the same time. Now let's see how this works. It should be able to take off faster and be more maneuverable, because all these heavy missiles now don't weigh anything. In theory. If it doesn't, that means it doesn't work. It's slightly more maneuverable. Now, I think I'm gonna go for air to ground. See if our blaze missiles work at all. Actually, I'm going to teleport to right final approach, so we can go for the aircraft carriers. Actually, yeah, let's go for the USS Tiny. We're going to get ready to fire off a blaze missile. There's our first one. Oh, I'm pretty sure it fell into the water. Which means we're gonna have to start using our bombs. So I'm gonna get some decent altitude here. Roll back around. And get ready to drop our payload on the USS Tiny. Oh, I messed up there. I think we're gonna have to get far away, then turn around to do this properly. So we've got the far away part almost. Turn time back into its normal. Get turned around. And go in to drop our bombs. Gonna speed up time again, because otherwise it will just take way too long to get there. And we ran out of fuel. Which means I guess we'll just drop our bombs right now. Where'd they even hit? Can we actually get the USS Tiny with a blaze missile when we're out of fuel? I think I see the issue. We're giving them too much time in the ignition delay. So, to fix that, let's take away the wing, take away one Inferno and one Interceptor, and get that fixed. So we're going to want to switch ignition delay from 1.5 to 0.25. This will change the speed dramatically. It'll take 1/4 of a second. And let's make sure that doesn't interfere with anything. Like, see if it fixes the whole reason why we wanted the ignition delay. See if that fixes it. Let's go see the USS Tiny. equip the blaze missiles. Drop one. Drop two. Those should have fired off. I don't know if they have, though. Let's see. Oh, that's our issue. Okay. So it turns out I was just being dumb. Missiles cannot be weightless, which means we're going to have to use roll trim and then give the missiles at least some mass, or else they just don't really like existing, like radioactive elements. They just don't want to exist. Switch it from a 0 to a 0.1. That should fix our issue. And do the same with this. 0.1. And then, since it's a blaze missile, we want it to be a bit different. So let's do, I think it's like this. Let me check. I think it's like that. That is it. So lock time, we're going to set it to 0.5. Half second to lock. Then our max targeting angle will switch to 70. And for the final one, we're going to make it faster. So I don't quite know how fast is, but I know this isn't actually all that fast, as far as I'm aware. But that's fine. Just going to be faster than normal, at least. Now we copy this over and see if this works. I think I might have done too much. It locks on super fast. It shoots out super fast. I say that was a success. Now we're gonna get to some bomb dropping because we're coming in at an angle. I think. I think some of those hit the USS Tiny. I dropped 23 of them in that short span of time. It's kind of crazy. I'll just drop the rest of them here. I think they might have hit, but I don't know. Now let's go air-to-air mode. Grab our long-range air-to-air missiles. Find a target over here. Oh no. This is a plane I created myself a while ago. And, yeah, it's hard to shoot it with missiles. It's very fast and very maneuverable. Oh, nice. That was a perfect hit. So I think we did pretty good here. Oh! I just remembered. We're missing something. Every good plane needs a gun. Most planes nowadays use gun pods, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to have a gun mounted directly on the plane. Off to the side over here, maybe. Let's see if this just falls off. Yeah, it just falls off. So we can fix that in a minute. First, we're going to make it with proper stuff. So it's going to have a very high projectile velocity, multi-roll, basic, so it's not explosive, max ammo, low firing delay. Switch it down to a 50 mil. Even though 50 mil is huge, this game counts it as the lowest. Base length, barrel length are shortened. Let's see how this works. I think we're gonna have to turn up the base length, or just have the barrel length even smaller. We'd have to go to cannon, find barrel length, go to 0.01. In theory, that should work. Yes, it does. So now we just put this, sink it into the plane. Set this like that. That looks pretty good. And I just hope it doesn't explode. My vehicle here. Air. It doesn't count it as part of the plane or vehicle because it's not. Just going into the mountain. So we're gonna have to fix that. So this here, we'll go to that, add a connection. This here and there. So now should have a good connection to my plane, which it does. But it's... oh, it can't shoot. Okay. Okay, it is missing something, though. Let's go against the USS Tiny, so we can see what it is. We're not going to be using stealth rounds, because it's hard to hit with those. It doesn't have any tracers, which is not good. Hope that hit. Go for another bombing run, because that's super fun. We have 8 missiles, so we just blew 20. Well, not missiles, bombs. Okay, so now we have to fix our cannon so that it has a smaller barrel and it has all tracers. And we also need to make it shoot faster. So we'll go to cannon. We'll set the firing delay to 10 times its speed now. Its launch volume, we'll turn it down. And let's see, tracer length. We could turn that up, but we're not going to. Tracer color. They usually aren't red, usually they're green. Give me a second. So I got the color inputted, so now it's more of a green. Switch the diameter from 0.1 to 0.05. So it's half the diameter, so it's not quite as silly. It's a 25 mil, which is like the kind of autocannon you'd see in real-life fighter jets. Except usually in real-life fighter jets they have either a 20 mil or a 30 mil. There's usually not 25s as far as I'm aware. Oh, I see a juicy looking bomber here. Go into cockpit view. I think that bomber is trying to do evasive maneuvers. I'll use my gun. Yeah, it's much quieter now. Who knew a bomber could outmaneuver a fighter? That doesn't make all that much sense. Where even is he? He's here. Nope. Okay. So we have one final thing we need to address. Fuel. So good thing I already have external fuel tanks saved, or else that'd be a bit of an issue. So there's one fuel tank. Take off the wing, put on another one. This should make our flight much, much longer. To make sure the pylons have 82. So now, if we're about to get into a dogfight, because these do make you much, much less maneuverable. Right now it's kind of like in workhorse mode. It's fairly fast, but not super fast. Not very maneuverable, but very heavily armed. So right now, even with full afterburner, and especially without, you can see, it's way less maneuverable. But if I decide to jettison the fuel tanks, like that, it's more maneuverable. It's very handy. Now let's just go on a carpet bombing run on the airport. Perfect. And it looks like that's about it. Let's make sure our tracers are working. Looks pretty good. But there's one more thing we need to do. That is, you might have been wondering when I was going to do this for a while throughout the video. These countermeasure dispensers. And back to the XML modding, there's a few things we want to do. We're going to switch these to flares. Let's see here, the settings. Yep, they're flares. Turn off the launch force. Countermeasure dispenser. And then we're going to go for ammo. We're going to give 600 flares into this one. And then, and I have found the info, it is auto dispense delay, which if I set this to 0.15, which I see is very common, and put one here, that should mean that now we can shoot out flares like crazy. So, yeah, only problem is it's sending them out in little bundles, and I want them to kind of spread a bit more to confuse the missiles a bit more, which is easy enough. I would just go like this, go here, make sure I'm rotating in the right axis, then rotate it a bit. I'm going to set this one to 350. Yeah, I'm going to set it to 350. Set this one to 10, which is the opposite. Put one here and take away the rolling. Just set it to 3. Or not. Gonna be like 275 maybe. Nope, give me a sec. After a bit of hard work, I found a way to fix it. And that is this. You can see there's 4 countermeasure dispensers, all angled by 10 degrees. So when I hit the countermeasure button, they all go outward a bit. I can chuck them pretty fast, too. I also have 2,400 missiles total on this thing. So that is the end of this video. This is the weapons here. We have all the weapons, we have all the countermeasures, all the external fuel. It can still fly, extra fuel, bombing, missiles, everything. Even the little teeny gun on the front. Next video, we're going to be tackling extras like homemade funky tree flight computers and stuff, if I'm able to do that. Among other things. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon. Also, like and comment would be appreciated. Any comments for suggestions for series, I will definitely take into mind. And